Hello, welcome to Wags Cancer Journey. I'm Wags. This is my cancer journey. Well, today is the 25th of July. It is a early Saturday morning here in southwest Wisconsin. The sun has not come up yet, so hopefully the lighting will be good enough to get through this video. I just wanted to jump in here real quick and give everybody an update on what's going on. What last few weeks, it's been a short minute since I've been on. So I want to get everybody up to speed. But first, foremost, I want to thank everybody for watching and subscribing. Like the video if you can. Hit that hype button. I guess that's a new thing. And maybe we can get this video out to others that are going through their journey. And maybe we can help. I'm greedy. I want to help at least two more people uh, through their cancer journey and get them through what they're gonna what they're gonna go through, what they can expect, and some of the ups and downs. Uh, but I want to thank each and every one of you guys for uh, coming along on this journey. So if you'd hit like, subscribe, um, hit that hype, that would be great. I want to start with some gratitude, and without gratitude, we know um, nothing else really falls into place. But if we get up in the morning and we have gratitude towards something, uh, the day seems to go a little better. Today, I'm grateful that I got to tell you about something I seen on the news yesterday that I didn't at the time really think it was going to affect me, but it really did. And that was a random act of kindness, which we don't get to see very often. I know it happens out there, but we don't get to see it all that often. And maybe the older we get and the more compressed our lives get, where we're not out and about as much and things like that, we don't get the chance to see it or hear about it. But actually, NBC reported this. And for whatever reason, they were even able to make it unpolitical, which is rare for NBC to not make it political. And that was traffic. It looked like there was 3 lanes of traffic plus a turning lane. Uh, was stopped because there was a disabled. Again, the camera wasn't overly clear, but looked to me like a disabled veteran, probably a Vietnam era veteran, trying to cross a crosswalk in his wheelchair, and he wasn't going to make it without the light turning. And the guy in one of the lanes that was right up front jumps out of his car on his way to work, where he worked at an amusement park, as Spider Man. Gets out in his Spider Man uniform, minus the mask, grabs a wheelchair, and helps this guy across the intersection before the light turned green. Now there was 3 cars behind him. They all patiently waited. The other cars in the other 2 lanes were able to take off. The left turning lane did not have the arrow, so they weren't going anywhere. And he ran back to his car and jumped in and proceeded to work. And it's I'm glad there's still people out there. I'm grateful there's still people out there that are willing to um, not just put themselves at risk, but help someone else out that in the time that they're struggling. Uh, I've seen a lot of random acts of kindness towards me with with a bunch of my followers and concerned people. uh, putting their lives on hold to help me out. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I can rely on some of my friends and family to jump in and help me out. So uh, I'm very grateful that there's still folks like that out there, and I know there is, and I know you guys are some of them. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and my gratitude towards you is genuine. With that, we need to go back a couple weeks on some of the visits. Uh, First of all, I had a video visit with my psychologist, and that would have been taking me back to single digits in July. Looked like July 1st. And we talked, but it was brief. And he told me, Jim, I don't think I need to see you anymore. He said, you you know as much as I do. You know what you know what you need to do. And he had given me three big platters of stuff to gnaw on, so I'm work on. So I've unless I need him, I'm done seeing him. Uh, which is good. I know he's there. He's part of my team. If I need to pick up a phone or send a message through my chart, I can. He's available. But he feels that it's not necessary for me to for us to keep hashing over little things to do to help get through the day, help the lows not be so low, and recognize that the highs um, are really something to be grateful for as well, and to ride it out. That there's going to be lows, and this month there really has been. Um, I can honestly tell you, he's helped a lot, and Dr. Marty, who I seen on the 10th, is a palliative care uh, doctor, and he kind of reemphasized a lot of the same things that Dr. Travis did, and that is that we are going to have ups and downs, and that even though things were going good, you've got to prepare mentally that some days just aren't going to be that good. And we went over the fact that this month alone, the month of July, I've totally run the whole gamut: mad, glad, sad, um, depressed, massively depressed. Uh, I cried a lot. Um, I've I've had days that my stomach don't feel good. I've had days my head don't feel good. I've had days I've coughed my full brains out. Um, I've had days that it was bed, couch, bed, bathroom, couch, bathroom, bed, just pretty much all you get to do. And I've had days, um, yesterday included, where uh, I think somebody that had to look really hard to know I was sick. So I guess my days aren't any different than yours. I think we all go through all those emotions. Um, we just need to kind of put them in perspective and understand what you're dealing with at the time. So that was the 10th. And the 10th, I had a pretty full day. Um, I had seen uh, Dr. Bruce. Um, I'd seen Dr. Marty, and everybody was kind of up to snuff and things went well. The 15th, I went back in for labs, and that's my big day. That's the labs, then over to talk to, um, I talked to Chris Adolins, who is a nurse practitioner for Dr. Bruce, and sat down with her. Very nice lady. Uh, Real, these ladies are, they're on it, and went through my test results. Uh, you turn in your pills, your 1776 pills. They give you new ones. Not really sure why you can't use the other ones, but you turn them in. They give you a new supply, and again, that ends the end of August, which is right around the corner. So we talked about whether or not we're going to be able to get our hands on a supply. Are we going to be able to go a few more weeks, maybe into the end of September or beginning of October? I don't know. I'm at the point where the more they can throw at this, the better. So we talked. We had labs, and the labs turned out good. Um, they adjusted my thyroid. They put me on a thyroid pill on the 10th after talking with Dr. Bruce. She thought one of the reasons I was really dealing with some chemo fatigue was my thyroid level, which, uh, if you look up the type of chemo I'm on, it's very common. So from there, um, they upped it because the numbers were still real low. And then I had my um, chemotherapy on the 15th. And you always look forward to getting my body full of poison, right? Which, you know, let's face it, that's what it is. And then I was free until the 21st of July. On the 21st of July, I went in and I seen Dr. Chen, and she's the specialist that was dealing with my double vision, which is still gone. And she did a bunch of tests with another younger optometrist uh, doctor. He's a specialist as well. And they came to the conclusion that I don't need to come back. However, um, everything checked out normal. They everything, all my range and obviously my vision, everything was in normal or above normal conditions. So those are all positives. But they did tell me that they, in their honest opinion, the double vision was uh, caused by a stroke. And that stroke was there's more than one type, which I didn't realize. It didn't go to the brain and have the brain tell the nerve to not work. It went to the nerve. So it was a very slight stroke because it didn't show up again on the MRIs. It did not show up on the MRIs that I had uh, a stroke where there was dried blood or anything in the brain. So it didn't get that serious, but it's a massive warning sign that other strokes um, will soon follow. But here's the problem. And the more I thought about it, the madder I got. And I wanted to film. but I was realized I was way too upset, a little depressed, a lot upset, and that I wasn't gonna um, film until I could get my hands around the emotions. When they told me earlier this year what my prognosis most likely would be if this medicine, this this Prembrose and the 1776 pill, I was not able to keep this tumor at bay in my chest. Obviously, it was pretty hard hitting. And what the this young optometrist, and he means well, don't get me wrong, he's doing his job, wants to preach to me about eating right and exercising and, you know, living the, you know, live living like you're going to live to 80 and um, really start looking at taking care of yourself stroke wise. I'm ready to tell him to pack sand. I got to tell you, I'm not changing how I live. I won't. If I'm only supposed to have a few months left, what would you do? I'm gonna want. If I want barbecued ribs, I'm having barbecued ribs. If I can afford to put them on the grill and eat them, I will. We've been eating pork steak, a little cheaper, delicious on the smoker. Uh, you know what? I have 3 to 5 pints of beer almost every night, but we're talking three, four. I don't I don't drink enough to get pie eyed or anything like that. I'm not slamming them, which my friends and family that know me know I possess the ability to tie one on, and I haven't. It's been a long time since I tied one on. Actually, I'm due, to, to be honest. But uh, I decided while they were telling me I didn't have to come home and think about it. I didn't have to come home and contemplate it. I mean, I welcome either one of those two doctors to keep up with me when I am in full go mode. I mean, I can still pick them up and put them down. I'm getting plenty of steps in. I'm drinking water like there's no tomorrow. And Dr. Denny told me about the coffee, that the water in the coffee is doing more to hydrate you than the caffeine in the coffee is doing to dehydrate you. So if you're getting your hydration through coffee, you're still a net positive. And I believe them. Um, so I drink a pot of coffee every morning. I drink tumblers of water throughout the day. And then at 4, when I start cooking supper, I may have a beer. By 6:30, I'm usually done drinking beer. So um, I'm not putting all that on the back burner. So I may not have a stroke between now and when cancer's supposed to take me out. And this is what people are going to go through. I mean, you're torn. You know, had I been in the truck driving, living living my normal, what used to be my normal lifestyle, I would have I'd have changed my diet and exercise plan accordingly immediately. But at this point, nah, pack sand. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna live the way I'm gonna live, and that's just the way it's gonna be. I had a bacon cheeseburger yesterday with fries, and it was bourbon barbecue bacon cheeseburger, and it was delicious. And I'm not eating chicken breast in its place. All right, so upcoming visits. August 5th, I go back to oncology, see Dr. Bruce, more chemo, but I'm good until August 5th, which is around the corner. And then we jump all the way down to the 26th, where I do it again. So a couple times a month, I'll be going in and doing that. And there is eye doctor appointment towards the end of August again. But that's just to make sure that the 1776 pill isn't messing up my vision. And knock on wood, so far that pill's um, doing what it's supposed to do, and we're pretty we're feeling pretty good about that. And this is some of the things that Dr. Bruce had told me that they were hoping to get me to is the all right, at first when you're in this study, you're going to be seeing the doctors, eye doctors, and you're going to be under her care a lot more, a lot more often in the scrutiny. The chemo they're giving me is, trust me, enough poison in your body to last a few weeks until you have it again. And even during that hiatus when they didn't know what was going on with my eyes and they wouldn't give me the chemo, that that chemo was still in my body and it was still doing things. The symptoms, the that stuff didn't go away. Uh, so one of the things I have to deal with mentally is the fact that you can't go back to 2 years, 3 years ago. That health that I was then, that ship has sailed. I mean, this tumor's growing. I can feel it. It's growing. I can start to see it now when I shave. What little hair does grow from the um, last summer's bout of chemo. I don't grow any hair here. My throat still gets irritated uh, fairly easy. So there's still a lot of new growth going on. And I was hoping to check up to that, but the pain, this is starting to hurt a lot more. Now, understand, guys, when I say hurt, I don't mean hurt like the throat cancer I had last summer, where they burnt the inside of my throat and the outside. Um, and there was literally blisters all inside my mouth and tongue and down my throat into my esophagus, right to your flipper flapper. Uh, Not that kind of pain. We're not even on the same painometer. Uh, but this is this is more spasms, cramping, and just something's going on with blood flow, probably due to the cancer. I mean, right there is where it all begins, and right underneath that collarbone. So I can feel it. I'm starting to see it. Uh, these these don't give you the warm fuzzies as you could probably imagine, but it's the new norm. It's what I deal with now on a day to day basis. Nausea has really ramped up. When I first started this Prembrose chemotherapy, I wasn't, I didn't take nausea pills. Now I live on anti diarrhea pills, nausea pills. Uh, I was in bed by 6:30 ish last night. I just, I wasn't so much wiped out from riding my motorcycle as I was uh, sick from eating. And I'm not gaining any weight. And that's the other thing I had to tell them at the They wanted me down to 165 pounds. I graduated high school at 165 pounds. There's When I was at my sickest, when you people, if you want to go back to last July and look at those videos, when I was at my sickest point, 6.5 weeks, I did not put food past my mouth. I was within literally hours of them forcing a feeding tube into me in order because my organs were getting ready to shut down and there was no would be no coming back from it. And I didn't really pass that information on, but it's Jerry, my girlfriend, got food down me, and we kept forcing the issue to the point where the feeding tube become unnecessary, and I went from there. But my point is, I was 204 pounds. You've seen the images on the videos. If I didn't look sick, look like somebody you're probably not going to see very much longer, I don't know who did. So the thought of me at 165 pounds, I'm going to probably be curled up in the fetal position and breathing my last. So let's hope like hell we never get there. And so I told the doctor straight out that if you think I'm going to get to 165 pounds, you're out of your cotton picking mind. And I didn't put it quite that nice. So um, I'm gonna I'm gonna stay at my weight. I'm 214, and I've only put on 10 pounds since I was at my sickest. And like I said, I eat bacon cheeseburgers, ribs, steak if I can afford it. Usually there's still marks on it where the jockey was whipping it, but hey, you know, whatever. So, chemo cough, it's weird. Sometimes you get it really bad, and then there's other times you don't have it hardly at all. And I would have to say this last 2 weeks, chemo has been better than the prior 2 weeks of chemo. But um, it's when I do have it, it's probably a little bit more severe instead of all day light hack. It's really hard, and then it kind of goes away during the heat of the day. The smoke we had from the wildfires affected me a little bit, but I was south. I went south to some drag races, so I was on purpose to avoid some of that. Thank you, chemo. Uh, so with that being said, mentally I'm not in a bad place. I'm on the same roller coaster you guys are. I'm having my good days, my bad days. No different than any of you folks out there that love and support me, and I appreciate each and every one of you followers. But I'm staying in good spirits. You know, this is the new norm, but it's not a bad. Not having bad days. I mean, I'm making the best out of the days. Wake up determined and go to bed satisfied, and you'll do all right. I mean, uh, I'm at the point where I realize that uh, you look behind you and you thank God for those blessings, and you look forward to the future and you give God the future, put it in His hands. And you get to the point where you can do that. Look behind you and be thankful for what God's given you. Look ahead to what God has in store for you. You'll be all right. Um, put your faith in Him and do the best you can. And don't don't be afraid. Don't feel like you failed because today was a hold the couch down kind of day and watch a movie. I had to a few days ago. I ended up watching a very inspiring movie that I didn't realize at the time was helping my journey. Had no clue. It was just a random movie from the 90s. And that's what you got to take out of things. But for that, um, I'm going to leave everything there. Uh, Anybody needs to get a hold of me, I'm going to leave my email in the description. If you want to reach out with any other comments that you don't want to put on YouTube, I understand. But don't, I read them all. I read them all on Facebook. Uh, so, you know, understand I totally appreciate it and I'm grateful. But for Jim, Wag's Cancer Journey, I want you guys to take care of each other and I'll see you next time.